Hey guys, welcome back to Willa Mae Ranch, where I upload every single Tuesday and Friday, and this week we're pickling some pickles. I went to my local farmer and got some pickling cucumbers. That's very important. Make sure that you're getting a pickling cucumber, because if you don't, then you're not going to have them as crispy as you'd like to. But this week's vlog is going to be about pickling because my garden stuff is starting to come in. Last week we did dilly beans and they're just about ready to eat. So y'all stay tuned. We're going to dice all these up and then I'm going to show you my recipe to pickling all of my cucumbers. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is just top all of your cucumbers on the ends. I've heard that if you don't do this, it will make them not be as crispy as you'd like for them to be, but I'm not sure if that's true or not because I've never tried not cutting the ends of it off. But all I'm going to do is cut into slices, and then I'm going to take a jar and measure how long I need them to be, because I want them to set flush so that I don't have to cut any of the tops off, because we want these to seal in the water bath. Okay, so right there you see me lay the glass jar down, and then all I'm doing is measuring how big I want the cucumbers to be, because I need it to be just below an inch so that they'll seal properly. And I'll just cut those excesses off, and then later on you'll see that I'll add them back to the jar, just because some people like just little chips that you can pull out, and you don't want to waste any of the cucumbers, so they're just good little fillers to put back into the jar. Okay, so now that you've got them all water bathed and cleaned up, you want to make sure that you rinse all of them off. You're going to get your water bath canner. If you do not have one, I'm going to link this one down below. I like this one. It carries up to 7 or 8 jars depending on what size they are. But all you're going to do is fill your water bath canner up with water, and then we're going to get started on our brine. So you're going to add 1 cup of vinegar and 2 cups of water. Remember, I'm only making 3 jars, so if you guys are making more pickles, you want to double this recipe, but I find this is the easiest. And then you're going to add in your salt. Do about 2.5 tablespoons of salt, and you'll see me, I forgot to add the half, but we're going to put that in there. And then you're going to do about 2.5 tablespoons of dill. If you like it more dill, add a half more, but I wouldn't go over that because it's going to be too strong. Turmeric. Okay, turmeric is just for coloring, so you won't see me measure that, but if I had to guess, I probably add a tablespoon and a half, and all it does is turn your brine to a pretty orange color. Okay, so now all we're going to do is just mix these ingredients together until they're fully combined, and then all we're doing is just combining it. We're not waiting for it to boil or get really extremely hot. All we're doing is melting down that salt and just letting these flavors marinate together, and then we're going to add them to our jars. add a clove or two, whichever you desire. If you like it more garlicky, it will not hurt it to add 2 cloves to it. So just add those to the jar. And I like to lay the jars down sideways just so you can fit as many pickles in there as you can, or cucumbers is what people call them. And you're going to want to pack in as many as you could possibly fit in here to where the jar doesn't shake anymore with the cucumbers in it. And then we're going to debubblize them. You'll see the reason why. Okay, so right there, that's what I meant by them not moving or budging whenever you've got them in there, and you want to get them as packed tight as possible, because when you fill them up with water and then you add them to your water bath, you'll notice that if they're not packed tight, that there'll be loose ones just floating around. You just want them to save on your jars and make sure that they're all packed tight. But you see how I'm adding those little scrap pieces? That's what I was talking about. Put those on the very top. So if you just want one just to try, they'll have those little pieces on top. So you're not wasting the whole cucumber, and you're getting the most out of your harvest. All squared away. Next is you're going to wipe off your jars with white vinegar. It just helps sterilize everything and make sure that everything is sealed and there's nothing on the sides that's going to prevent it from sealing. And you'll also see me wipe these jars off several times. The only thing I do is do it at the beginning because some of the seeds will get on the sides. Going to add our brine, which is what was on the stove, that mixture. You're not going to want this boiling hot, just a little bit lukewarm. Just going to add it to each jar until you have enough headspace, about an inch before it reaches the very, very tip top. I filled that one way too full, so I'm going to have to take some of it out. But let's try again on the second one. So I'm going to move my little, if you don't have one of these little pourer spouts, I'll have it linked below too. But you're going to fill it all the way up to about right there. That's where the sweet spot is. That'll give it enough air to create and remove all the air bubbles. That's the reason why we leave a little bit of headspace, so that that seal can have room to seal around that jar. So here I am just fixing that one. And then I'm going to wipe the jars off again because I forgot to do that. Okay, so here you'll see me grabbing up some of those seasonings on the very, very bottom so that I can add them to each jar, because your seasonings are going to want to fall to the very, very bottom. And you don't want all of your seasons in one jar, so that's the reason why I stir it up, and then I'll add just a little bit to each jar. And then if you're lucky like I am, you can add some hot pepper flakes if you wanted a little bit spicy, and the whole lid fell off. But I wasn't going to edit that out because it was funny. So I ended up just doing one jar spicy. You can add red pepper flakes to the very end if you like them. It just adds just a little bit of spice to it. But typically you're only supposed to use a pinch or two, maybe a tablespoon. Not the whole dang can like I did. But I wasn't going to take it out because I thought it was funny. Mom life. So next, all you're going to do is grab you a can holder. I don't know what this thing is called. It's like a grippy can thing. But you're going to slowly set them down in the water. We don't want them to break, but our brine was already warm, so our jars are warm and our lids are warm. That's what creates them to break whenever they hit hot from cold. I'm going to need one of these grip holder things because this water is almost boiling. It's not quite there yet, but once it does, you're gonna let it set in the water bath for 10 to 15 minutes. I think I did this one for 15 minutes. Okay, so now that they have water bath for about 15 minutes, you're going to take that lid off and be very careful because it is very, very hot. And this is why you're going to need this tool, because this hot water is boiling. Make sure that you lay down a towel or a rag of some sort on your countertop, because these are going to slowly cool down. And that's what you're going to want right there. Doesn't that look beautiful? I was so proud of myself for finishing this and excited. But the reason why you're wanting to set them on a towel is because you're going to want the heat to slowly take the jars from, 180 degrees down to 0, and then you can put them in the refrigerator. So don't put these in your refrigerator, directly after. Even if they're warm, wait for them to completely cool off. All right, y'all, that concludes the vlog. Let these set for at least 2 weeks, 4 if you can, in a cool, dark place. They're already sealed. I'm always so excited when they turn out good. I don't know how hot this one's gonna be because I accidentally, y'all seen that. But that concludes the vlog. Please like, subscribe, consider hitting that notification bell so that you guys can be up to date whenever I load again. But I upload every Tuesday, every Friday. So I will see y'all next time.